The challenges facing our most vital resource, water, are, well, they're growing by the day.
No question.
Climate change, aging infrastructure, new regulations, rising customer expectations. It's just clear the water sector needs smarter, more flexible solutions, and frankly, it needs them now.
It's not just about, small improvements anymore. We're really talking about a fundamental transformation.
Exactly. And that's why this deep dive builds on something we explored before, this idea of open water. Remember, we looked at open source software, open data, open collaboration.
Right, the foundational pieces.
So today, we're taking that concept a step further. We're going to unpack 3 new, equally critical drivers for the water sector's evolution. Open platforms, digital marketplaces, and the communities that really bring it all together.
Yeah, the human element.
Yeah.
Our mission today is pretty straightforward. We want to show you practical tools, models, real-world examples.
Things you can actually use.
Precisely. Things designed to help utilities, technology partners, everyone work more openly, effectively, and resiliently. It's all about building a stronger water future. We're here to get you up to speed fast on this next wave of smart water solutions.
Okay, let's jump right in then. First up, the power of open platforms. It feels like for too long, digital tools in water have been, well, less like bridges and more like expensive roadblocks.
Proprietary black boxes sometimes.
Exactly. Robert Bornhofen, who's the director of innovation at DC Water, put it really well. He said, the next wave of innovation will come from open platforms of diverse ideas that break down silos, accelerate solution development, and enhance transparency when acted upon. Okay, but what does that actually mean? What makes a platform truly open?
That's a really crucial distinction.
Yeah.
An open platform isn't just about whether the software is open source, although it certainly can be.
Right.
The core idea is software designed for extension, integration, adaptation, interoperability. And this is key, not just by the original vendor. It's about creating an environment where the broader ecosystem that includes you, the utility, or other third parties can actually build on it. So its openness is really baked into its technical architecture, its philosophy, not just the license.
That distinction makes a lot of sense. So if we're out there looking for a platform that's genuinely open, what are the signs? What are the hallmarks we should look for?
Well, a really fundamental sign is that developers, and that could be internal developers or third parties, can actually add new features or extend the functionality.
Like adding apps to your phone.
Exactly like that. It's that plug-in architecture idea. With a closed system, say a hydraulic modeling tool, if you need a new feature, you're probably stuck waiting for the vendor.
Right, if they ever release it.
Precisely. An open platform provides the tools, the capabilities for any developer to create tailored features, plugins. It makes development much more responsive, solutions can be shared, reused, iterated on. It just speeds everything up.
Okay, and for that to work well, you obviously need clear instructions. So I'm guessing freely available documentation, maybe even guidance source code, is pretty essential.
Absolutely essential. If the APIs, those application programming interfaces, the digital building blocks for communication, if they're hidden away, true integration becomes incredibly difficult.
Yeah, you're just guessing.
Or building fragile connections. True open platforms give you direct access to those APIs, developer resources. It supports transparent, intentional extension. That accessibility is a key marker of real openness.
Another thing that pops into my head is portability. If your software is locked into one specific environment, adapting seems like a nightmare when your infrastructure inevitably changes down the line.
Portability is vital, you're right. It means the platform can run effectively in different spots on-premise, on your own servers, in the cloud, maybe a hybrid of both.
Without a massive re-engineering effort.
Exactly. Minimum friction. Technologies like standard web protocols or containerization often help here. It really cuts down on that vendor lock-in worry, which is huge for utilities.
So flexibility is key. Does that also apply to the internal structure? Like, can you update or swap out bits and pieces independently?
Precisely. A good open platform usually has a modular architecture. It's built from distinct, independent components. Each part does its job, and you can update it, remove it, replace it without breaking the whole system.
Ah, okay.
That makes maintenance, customization, scaling much, much easier. Safer adaptation, less complex development.
And related to that, this idea of decoupled extensions, it sounds like if every little add-on needs you to mess with the core code, you're asking for trouble.
Oh, that's a maintenance nightmare waiting to happen. Open platforms support what we call decoupled extensions. These are external add-ons, they enhance functionality, but they do it without modifying the core application's code.
How do they do that?
Usually through those defined interfaces like APIs. It keeps the core system stable, maintainable. It means less downtime during updates, and you can adopt or retire features without messing up the whole platform. Imagine trying a new pressure management algorithm.
You can just plug it in, test it, unplug it if it doesn't work.
Exactly. Minimal fuss.
That sounds incredibly important for water, where you've got, just think of all the different systems. SCADA, hydraulic models, asset databases. They all need to talk to each other somehow.
And that brings us right to interoperability, which is maybe the most critical piece for water utilities. It just means the platform plays well with others. Seamless data exchange, integration across all those diverse tools you mentioned.
SCADA, models, asset data.
Right. It cuts down duplicated effort, improves coordination, allows for much richer data analysis. Without it, systems stay fragmented, data stays siloed, holistic decision-making, nearly impossible.
Okay, and the last sign. It seems logical that an open platform would exist within a wider ecosystem of technologies and standards, right? It feels like that would naturally foster collaboration.
It creates that culture of collective progress. Users get access to a whole range of value-added extensions built by other people. Utilities don't have to build everything from scratch themselves.
Saves time and money.
Hugely. It speeds up digital transformation, decreases costs, reduces duplicated work across organizations that are probably facing very similar problems. It's about building on shared infrastructure.
So let's tie this together. What does all this mean for water utilities, especially the ones really feeling the pressure we mentioned at the start? Robert Bornhofen also said, open platforms are not a risk. They are a strategy to innovation. How so?
Well, when you connect those signs of openness to the practical benefits for you, the listener, they become really clear. First, that interoperability. It builds real connections. Utilities juggle, dozens of specialized tools sometimes.
Easily.
When these systems talk to each other, operations get way more efficient, data becomes more useful, decisions happen faster, it speeds up innovation, reduces risk because new tools can just plug into what you already have instead of needing these huge, costly, custom integration projects every single time.
Right, that sounds like immediate savings, time, and money.
It often is. Second, open platforms help break down those silos, both inside the utility and outside. Internally, you've got planning, engineering, operations, customer service, often using different software.
Totally separate worlds sometimes.
Open platforms bridge those gaps. Tools and plugins help share information securely, build cross-department workflows, and externally, smooth their collaboration with vendors, regulators, other utilities, because you're building on shared standards. Makes adopting solutions easier, cheaper.
Okay, and the big one. Preparing for the future without constantly breaking the bank. That's always a major concern.
It's a very important question. That modular design, those open integration points, they let utilities start small, get the core capabilities, then scale up as needs evolve.
So you don't have to buy the giant, all-encompassing system up front.
Exactly. You can tap into proven tools, expertise developed by others in the ecosystem. It dramatically reduces the cost and risk of innovation. That adaptability is just essential for long-term resilience, especially now.
Okay, so theory is great, but let's talk specifics. Cadium is a real-world example that seems to embody these characteristics. How does Cadium show this openness?
Yeah, Cadium was really built from the ground up to be an open, extendable water intelligence platform. They offer an open software development kit, an NDK, which gives developers the tools to build on it.
The toolkit.
Right. Then there's the Cadium Marketplace for plugins, which we'll talk more about. They have a strong commitment to community collaboration, Cadium Labs, for openly sharing tools and data, plus partnerships with other organizations. It all reinforces that collaborative approach. And importantly, their mission is genuinely about making digital water management accessible to everyone.
Even offering core functionality for free.
Yes, exactly. To help those resource-limited communities get access to these vital tools. It's a big part of their philosophy.
Okay, so you have an open platform, people can build on it, but how do you make sure that innovation isn't just happening in scattered pockets? And that brings us neatly to our second driver, digital marketplaces. This feels like new, but really exciting territory for the water sector.
It really is.
I love thinking about how marketplaces have always connected people, ideas, resources, from ancient bazaars right up to Amazon or eBay today.
Marketplaces have always been these powerful catalysts, haven't they? Driving competition, innovation, and online. Think about Apple's App Store, the Google Play Store. They completely changed how we find and use software on our phones.
Right. So if we apply that same idea to software itself, specifically within an industry, we get the rise of these software-specific add-on marketplaces.
Exactly. These are platforms where users can extend core software by finding and sometimes listing add-ons, apps, plugins, whatever you call them. They might be for sale, they might be free.
We see this elsewhere, right?
Oh yeah, they're thriving in other industries. Think of the ArcGIS marketplace for GIS. Salesforce has its App Exchange for CRM. HubSpot has its app marketplace for marketing.
So what makes them tick?
Under the hood, it's those APIs we talked about, the building blocks and the SDKs, the development tools. They enable that seamless integration between the core platform and all these extensions.
So it creates this open, evolving ecosystem where new capabilities get shared, users get tools tailored for them, developers get seen, and the platform itself just gets stronger.
That's the power of it, yes.
Yeah.
This model's been hugely successful because it fosters innovation and empowers users. The key point, though, is the water sector is really just starting to dip its toes into this potential. But the benefits, they're undeniable.
You know, it's funny, the source material had this fascinating little sidebar applying a marketplace mindset not just to software, but to water itself, the Australian example. What was the key insight there?
Yeah, that's a really interesting parallel. It shows how these principles can apply to resource management, too. Back in the 90s, Australia did something pretty revolutionary. They separated the right to use water from owning the land it was on.
Unbundling water rights, they called it.
Exactly. This meant water allocations could be bought and sold independently. Water could move to where it had the highest value economically, socially, environmentally.
So the principle's the same.
Pretty much. Provide open access, enable broad participation, let value flow where it's needed most.
Yeah.
It's just a fascinating example of how market mechanisms, if designed carefully, can drive efficiency and sustainability in resource allocation.
That's a really powerful parallel. Okay, so bringing it back to software marketplaces in water.
Yeah.
What are the tangible benefits? For you, the listener, and the broader water community, let's break them down.
Okay, benefit one. It closes the gap between generic tech and real-world needs. Every utility is unique, right? Infrastructure size, local rules, in-house skills. An open platform with a marketplace lets developers and water experts create and share really specialized solutions. Tools that target your daily challenges, delivering precise, personalized help for those unique situations.
And it sounds like it could really democratize access. Level the playing field, maybe, for smaller utilities that don't have huge IT budgets.
It absolutely does. That's benefit number two. Open APIs, SDKs, they let anyone, potentially, create these focused tools or enhancements and share them, often at a fraction of the cost of big software rollouts.
Lowering barriers to entry.
Exactly. It empowers independent developers, smaller companies, ensures innovation benefits the whole sector, not just the giants.
This also builds on that interoperability point we made earlier, doesn't it? Allowing utilities to kind of mix and match solutions for a truly customized tech stack.
That's benefit three, spot on. It actively encourages developers to build tools that talk to each other effectively, other marketplace tools, external systems, so you're not locked into these rigid all-or-nothing suites anymore.
You build what works for you.
Right. You build a customized software ecosystem that truly works for your team, encouraging scalability, adaptability.
Okay, and we know utilities can sometimes be, let's say, cautious about adopting new tech. How do marketplaces help speed things up?
That's benefit four, accelerating adoption and digital transformation. Marketplaces often offer pre-vetted, ready-to-use integrations and add-ons.
Takes away some of the guesswork.
And the risk. It simplifies decision-making, helps utilities fast-track their move to smarter operations. It even lowers the barrier to just trying things out with minimal investment, easier experimentation.
And what about just sparking new ideas, incentivizing innovation itself?
Benefit five, by giving teams a platform to build, share, maybe even monetize new tools, marketplaces really encourage practical, targeted innovation. Every new tool can spark more ideas, get adapted by others. You get this ripple effect of progress.
And maybe even bring in outside perspectives.
That's one of the most exciting parts. It can draw in fresh thinking from outside the water sector, people bringing cross-vertical ideas that might not occur internally. Imagine a gaming developer tackling a water data visualization problem.
That would be interesting. Okay, and finally, for those smaller teams or independent developers wanting to create solutions, it lowers the barriers for them too, right?
Definitely. Benefit six, reduce barriers to entry for solution providers. Traditionally, building and selling software meant huge upfront investments. Infrastructure, marketing, distribution.
Massive hurdle.
Marketplaces change that. They offer shared infrastructure, The core platform, APIs, SDKs, ready access to users. It gives independent developers, smaller firms, a much clearer, faster path to create and share solutions. Good ideas aren't blocked by company size or budget. More voices solving real problems.
And bringing this home, the water sector's first software add-on marketplace is the Cadium Marketplace.
That's right. Its core purpose is helping users customize, extend, and integrate Cadium's digital water management capabilities. There's a growing catalog of ready-to-use add-ons, plus that powerful SDK for building your own.
What kind of add-ons are we talking about?
Oh, things like tools to test main shutdowns virtually, visualize water age across the network, pinpoint energy inefficiencies, optimize pressure, even simulate the impact of new housing developments on the system.
Real practical stuff.
Exactly. It's designed to help utilities of all sizes solve those real-world challenges quickly, affordably, by putting tailored solutions right at their fingertips.
That sounds incredibly useful. Okay, so platforms provide the foundation, marketplaces provide the access, which leads us perfectly to our third critical driver, communities in motion, the human engine. Because really, platforms and marketplaces create the infrastructure, but it's the communities that provide the energy, the creativity, the insight. They bring these systems to life.
It's so true. Communities, whether they're technical groups, cross-disciplinary forums, local alliances, global networks, they are absolutely essential engines of innovation. They break down silos, they empower individuals, they accelerate transformation just by leveraging that collective intelligence.
Like Robert Bornhofen said again, communities are what fuels sustained innovation where shared knowledge becomes shared action.
I couldn't have said it better.
And a prime example of this in action, especially relevant here, is the Swan Americas Alliance. You know, I saw a stat over 50,000 community water systems in the U.S., and most have fewer than 3 employees.
Wow, that's tiny.
Right. It just highlights why collaboration, sharing knowledge is absolutely critical for them. Maddie Zimmerman from Swan put it beautifully. She said, it's like a rising tide that lifts all ships. The more we collaborate, bring people together, and share knowledge, the more we can elevate the whole sector, and utilities can adapt digital solutions to manage their unique water stressors.
That's a great analogy. And Swan Americas really embodies that. It connects this incredibly diverse group utilities, startups, consultants, academics across North and South America.
The whole hemisphere, basically.
Pretty much. Their mission is collaboration, knowledge sharing, advancing the sector towards more data-driven solutions for drinking water, stormwater, wastewater. And crucially, they operate as a neutral, non-commercial space. That's key.
And they make this happen through some really specific, practical activities. It's volunteer-led, right? Based on 3 pillars. Education, execution, engagement. How does that work in practice?
Well, for education and engagement, they offer this great platform for thought leadership. Every month, they host these curated calls on hot topics, AI, cybersecurity, stormwater monitoring, featuring really diverse perspectives.
So it's not just vendors pitching products?
No, definitely not. And what's really valuable are the utility-only calls. These are for candid, vendor-free discussions. They even tackle sensitive stuff like recovering from a cyber attack. Their quarterly calls often use this rose-bud-thorn format.
Rose, bud, thorn, what's that?
Rose is a success, bud is an area for growth or something developing, and thorn is a challenge. It really sparks direct problem-solving connections between members.
Ah, I see. So these insights build up over time, creating this continuous learning loop. I heard about an example where a rural stormwater case from Ventura County sparked ideas for dense urban areas like NYC, like where to put manhole sensors. That's direct knowledge transfer.
That's a perfect illustration. And you see recurring themes pop up, like data governance. They keep coming back, getting deeper, shaping future topics. Another thing they do really well is encourage speakers to share works in progress.
Not just the polished final report.
Exactly. Sharing the messy middle, the foundational steps, like a team explaining how they're actually loading construction data into their CMMS, their maintenance management system. That stuff is incredibly valuable insight into the process of digital transformation.
That willingness to share the messy parts must be incredibly helpful, especially for smaller utilities, offering both the basics and the advanced view. Like that GIS session example, a no-code platform for small utilities alongside enterprise GIS for complex plant design.
That holistic approach is key. It ensures there's value for utilities at every stage of their journey. They also cover topics like, how do you even start a digital transformation project? How do you pitch tech investments to your board? How do you navigate digital architecture choices? Practical guidance, top to bottom.
And it's not all virtual, right? They have in-person workshops and roundtables, too. I heard one drew like 20 staff from the city of Phoenix from all different departments. That must spark some amazing conversations.
Those in-person events are really dynamic. The heart of them are often these participant-driven roundtables. Like a discussion planned around cloud versus on-premise solutions might suddenly morph into a deep dive on cybersecurity and workforce readiness, just because that's what the people in the room need to talk about.
Responding to real needs.
Absolutely. And they highlight practical examples. City of Sandy, Oregon, using sensors for leak detection, California American Water putting in solar microgrids for wildfire resilience, panels on workforce, AI, citizen developers. The works.
And beyond the events, they're also creating knowledge through collective research. That IT conversions initiative sounds really important.
It is. Traditionally, you had IT office computers, networks very separate from OT, operational technology, the systems controlling pumps, valves, treatment plants.
Two different worlds.
And OT data often face this trade-off, security versus accessibility. The Alliance Initiative really dug into whether converged systems could actually be more secure because of unified management. They just released a big report with case studies on it.
So wrapping this section up, the bigger picture is that Swan Americas really shows the heart of this open water approach in action. Transparency, shared knowledge, human connection, all driving real transformation.
It's a living, breathing model, truly.
Yeah.
Showing how shared learning and experimentation can turn these open principles into tangible progress, lifting the whole sector.
Okay, so let's recap our deep dive today. We've covered 3 critical drivers. Open platforms giving us flexibility and control.
Digital marketplaces making solutions accessible, speeding up adoption.
And communities providing that vital human engine for progress and collective intelligence.
And when you connect all those dots, for you listening, it means designing for openness really leads to deeper connections across your teams, across technologies, across sectors.
Which results in
Smarter decisions, faster action, and ultimately stronger outcomes for you and the incredibly vital work you do in the water sector.
And as we close out, here's maybe one final thought for you to ponder. The challenges facing our water resources are, well, they're immense. We know that. But what if the most powerful solution isn't just some shiny new technology, but actually a fundamental shift in how we choose to work together? Building shared infrastructure, shared knowledge for a truly sustainable and equitable water future.